So today we live on a reality in which there's more and more people that are just isolated and unhappy. And pretty much the problem here is that everything has gone online and we just got too much used to our phones. So what happens is we end up being a huge part of our days actually interacting with our phones in some way, and most of the times we're not really doing much, doing anything that is actually productive for us or makes us feel good. So that's why we're just so isolated, and then we don't really have social experiences via the phone the way we do on real life. So it's like if you meet a person in real life, regardless of how the person looks, and if you want to reply or not to what the person may say to you. Like in real life, you're just going to reply because you want to be polite, you know? You're just in front of a person, you don't want to ignore someone just speaking to you by any reason. So you end up replying. And yeah, people reply, and then you just start a chat with someone. It doesn't matter, right? When on social media, people just kind of goes into the photo and like, okay, am I interested in this person or not? Most cases is gonna be no, I'm not, and then you just don't even reply, right? But we have this approach via social media, which is pretty much what everyone is doing on autopilot mode. But in fact, it's not very logical because we should be hanging out with people regardless of how they look. I mean, they can even be looking a way that you enjoy, they can be pretty, but that doesn't mean that you get to speak to the person and you're gonna enjoy to hang out with the person in the first place. Because everything you can see there that you like, it's literally the look and that's it. There's nothing else to it, right? So yeah, on real life, I would say in person, we don't do this. We end up hanging out with both people that we may consider are not good looking, or we may consider to not be interested in the first place. We will just hang out because it's a friend of a friend. It's a different way of interacting when it comes to real life situations, and you also have a bunch of experience that happen in real life that doesn't happen via social media or the phone, and a lot of those experience helps you feeling essentially good with yourself. You have more joy. It's a different experience pretty much. So yeah, essentially, like the social media, it's good in, for example, one of the things that I find it's amazing is for you to just get more and more information, especially if you want to build a good knowledge on a specific space. You have a bunch of information out there that you can just easily access from the phone. And that's pretty good. You couldn't do this before. Before you had to go to libraries. It was a lot tougher. You had to find books. And now it's easy in terms of that part. But the social part has kind of faded out in this situation because people get dependent on their phones and they're just spending too much time on their phones interacting with them. Most part the they you're not really doing much productive things. You're not really hanging out with your phone, let's say this way, to promote yourself to be on a good state of mind or to have some enjoyment in your life. So that's why people get isolated and depressed. So it's important to understand these things because yeah, we see that we as humans are just losing a connection we used to have between each other. Like back in the day when I was younger, I was having a lot more friends than what I have currently. Just part of pretty much every single person's life. You used to have a lot more friends because back in school you were just friends with everyone, and it was easy to hang out because people are just close. You just go and have fun with all the kids. But as you grow older, those things kind of disappear. You don't really have a social environment the way you had back on school or university that just allows you to have a wide open space full of people that you can just go and hang out with. So yeah, social terms, I would say things get more complicated as it moves on, but you can always build your own connections, your network. You can always try to find new friends. There's ways that people do this, and it's nice, like even groups where in which people just go and have some activities between each other, like going into let's say going to into dinners together or taking coffee. Yeah, I think I remain myself open when it comes to this type of experiences, and I'm one of those persons that if you tell me, man, I just want to hang out with people. Like I'm one of those just sticking your hand up and saying, yeah, let's go, let's meet new people. I want to hang out with different people and have some fun. I think it's good, and it's something that we should actually seek with ourselves from like longer in our lives, to make our lives just to be a bit better and with more enjoyment, more like better experiences, some new things that always add up when you meet new people. You do different stuff. Just like back in the old days. I'm pretty sure that every person out there will just remember that used to be very happy when he was a kid, as long as you had your previous season as a standardized season with no major conflicts. But yeah, like those things can stick as long as you stick with some behaviors, right? So it's all about yourself to be open to these type of experiences, and then you can find your life to actually be a lot more diverse diverse in what you do daily. And yeah, it's pretty much what you can do to go against this new situation that people are just too much into their lives and don't really interact with each other.